I am alive.
Say it again because I clicked away right when you said that.
I am alive.
Probably fine, yeah. That looks like we're roughly balanced.
Okay.
Oh, oh, oh. So ready for
Easy.
this. Let's go.
This is gonna be
And
interesting.
here we have the protagonists. We're all lined up. Perfect.
All lined up for the slaughter.
Oh, I love that. Oh.
Oh, this is
Yep,
gonna.
definitely the protagonists right there.
We're gonna win.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna win. One of these people right here because we're here on the, one of our characters are Ella. Oh.
That sounded like
Eggman.
you were.
Yeah, it's the Eggman. It's you are referring to me with that. Hi there. How are you doing, Absol?
I missed the Eggman.
I'll be the first one. I just don't want to be the second one, okay?
You can be whichever one you want to be.
Oh, okay, okay. It's egg and then man. Yep, yep. Oh, thank goodness.
But are you the walrus? Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Realistically, I I don't. Uh, 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 we'll go with sure. Even though you've transcended that, you're you, you're comfortable with who you are. Oh, what a
Indeed.
nerd.
Yes. Oh, I see the picture now. Oh man, you actually did get it. I'm so
Yeah, I
proud.
did get it. You thought I didn't save it? No, as soon as you were like, "Oh, your this picture is going to be lost forever," I was like, "No, screw you! I only got it."
Yeah. Sell me. Sell me. What's the pickup line?
Sell the pickup line. Let's go.
A few moments before we're gonna start.
Yeah, yeah.
Mainly because I also kind of may have
Part
forgot to
of
turn
me.
off the burner, so I have to pop upstairs to turn it off. But you know
Oh
what?
yeah,
Sell the pickup line. I'll see it in a second. One moment.
part of me really wishes this was like just one big April Fool's prank of like we were just gonna hang up end stream right away, but it's not. There's a reason why I call people eggs all the time. After all, I like to crabble their ins. Let me scramble. Okay. How promiscuous! Oh my! Oh, oh my! Failed successfully. Oh, so promiscuous. Ah. Golly gee. I am zooming. Oh my. That looks like a bald man. Why is that dank egg? Wait, what? Am I seeing that Twitch emote wrong? I think I'm seeing it right. It looks like a balding man just doing like the bow. I mean, egg top? Yeah, that makes sense. Oh gosh,
You know, I'm
I've
proud of people who crable the insides of all the other people around them.
yep, yep, Crable, Crable, their insides.
I respect that. I respect that. Not many people
It,
crable nowadays.
I mean, it's just so nice and respectful. It's just super sweet and wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing inappropriate at all.
I don't know what it
I'm being
means.
called an egg directly now.
Ah, yes. Hmm. Did you already give the spiel of what's happening?
No.
We might as well at least have that just for the start of the when we watch it in the past.
Alrighty. Go ahead. I'll just take a nap. You got this. Good job. Welcome to
Well,
Justin monologuing for the next hour or so.
welcome to this is Holy Grail War campaign or Grail War campaign, as many may know from the title. The premise of this is we're essentially in a very Fate Stay Nighty kind of situation. This is
I
a personal game,
I'd
and
call it more Fate Zero because
yeah,
we
Fate
have
Zero.
half the cast. No, actually.
Yeah. We're in a situation that the server has generated, which has led us to essentially a Grail War, quite literally. And we're just going to use any sort of misnamers, just call it a Grail War, because let's be honest, that's really what it is. We have been managed to we've managed to get ourselves into this Grail War through semi-legitimate means. We're essentially, in many ways, to those who might have seen Fate, acting as the Zokin of the party. We're surveillancing, we have the actual power. We plan to win.
All of our all of our power comes from like tiny insignificant bugs.
Yeah.
No, it's true though.
It's true, though. So, this episode is kind of the starting point of the war. And we thought we'd stream it. Might as well bring people into some of the whatever you're doing today. Maybe have a little bit of a podcast if you want to hang out. Keep it as record for the future.
I'll be
It
honest. The
is
very first, like, Justin was like, "Hey, maybe we should record this." I'm like, "I can't record it without streaming," and it's like, "Yeah, we can just stream it." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." This is purely for our own self-interest. I'll be honest. We'd be playing this one where the might as well just monetize our life, right? Excellent. And one of these people you see on screen is totally our characters. Hey, Profuse, we got you. You thought we were playing one of these scrubs? No way. Those are the NPCs. Alright, let's spend like the next 5 hours listening to their backstories. Let's go.
the setup we have before us is imagine a scrying being able to look in on our opponents as they act. These fools in front of us are the mages involved in the war. We know very, very little about them, so this is going to be a little bit of a learning experience. Each one of them has gathered a reliquary, or a focus of point. Each one of them plans to summon a servant in combat. While we are a part of them, we are also not quite known to be in the war, and they are not aware of our presence yet. In other words, we're harvesting them for information. And when the server gives us a really good point to have a potential movie night, we'll take it. So let's begin. The Imperium Hotel was one that stood in the center of downtown. To most of the rich people, those with wealth, affability, those with material gain, they would find themselves staying here. But in the course of mage society, The Imperium held a much more inclusive and secretive experience to more established guests. The first of these guests would be Malik Jitar. He was an individual from the desert country of Amantil. Rare sight to be up north where mage society dominated most of everyday life. Amantil had more liberties. He was, in many ways, more free from the mage world's influence, yet he was one of the top mages within the world. His plastered yet surprisingly smooth and slick darker skin definitely denoted him some sort of nobility. His clothes draping in white and adorned with bits of gold. For back home, Jitar was seen as an incarnation of their god. Jitar, an incarnation of Nyaragil, one who embodied the sun and the transition into life and death, a rather cruel god, one that would only take worshippers and never give them away. Anyone who was said to have forebode Nyaragil would be torn to pieces at the spiritual level and at their body's level. Jitar held these qualities as well. While Jitar may not have been the real royalty of Amantil, Jitar had lived a long time. Studies go back to Jitar, or at least someone of Jitar's name, existing 200 years or more. Back when Amantil was still the native homeland, just simply Aman. It had recently been colonized and then returned to a different government. Jitar was a royalty of the old lineage. As he moved rather graciously through the foyer, his presence still carried the weight of royalty. A simple bird following just overhead in the corner of his eye. Those around were more concerned with the epoch in which was Malik. Talking to him felt as if it were some sort of divine treachery. Yes, it would be a sin, but to a god that no one here would worship. As he made his way to his room, the simple bird followed. He had no care for familiars, not of a mage that weak. Whatever servant he would claim, he wore it on his face. He would win with them. As he readied his focus, kept in a pouch just to his side. He started to ascend up to the highest reaches of the Imperium. The focus was part of a chest plate, damaged and rotten metal. Recently, it had gone missing from his own country's exhibit. Perhaps it wasn't really missing at all, but instead borrowed. From the pre-games, it was found that these artifacts would remain in touch. They wouldn't be consumed in the summoning process, not fully. He smiled, but to discern what he smiled about was a mystery. Elevator doors creaked open as the quick rushing wind briskly moved around the very top floor of the Imperium. This was the highest point within easily over 1,000 kilometers. A simple guided rail was all that was between him and a long, painful fall to his death. Little Magus, whoever you are, your eyes have been watching. Now behold, I hope you find this entertaining. The sharp golden eyes striking forward towards the familiar, almost as if they could see through it, but they couldn't. There was not enough energy in the familiar. Not enough to transmit like that. Taking from his equipment, he simply snapped his fingers. The ground itself started to upheave at his very notion. A magic circle was being drawn. At least the frameworks were. Malik Jiktar specialized in magic of death. This did not mean that he needed to sacrifice in order to simply bring upon a new fate. The wind whistled ever so merciless, but it broke around the circle, as if there was a ball of glass. The wind dared not even touch. Placed in the center of the circle, the armor plate. As Jatar started to finish, candles, wax harvested from an ancient dead lifetime. Mummy wax was its name. It symbolized sin, but also redemption. It was strange for them to use that candle. As the simple bird, a crow nonetheless, watched. Its head curiously turned. There are some things in this world in which must be called upon firsthand. Let me show you what the highest rank assassin can look like. The familiar knew. He knew far too well. The highest rank assassin. It would have to be someone such as Nameless. A knight in black plate armor. Perhaps. No. It could be few. Traitorous fiends who betrayed their king and country. But one who either represented an extreme of depravity or efficiency. The circle sparked to life. As Malik Jatar spoke in his natural tongue. Harsh, but it flowed. Like a river, perhaps, or a stream. Harsh, Amata, Dona Sana, Balakanata. Or however you pronounce that. The magic circle sprung to life, glittering, vibrant colors. Blues and golds, reds and violets. The circle itself whisked its magical energy until it started to condense on a certain point. This was accessing the Greater Grail, a summoning system. This would turn his artifact into a servant of unbelievable legacy. With a quick notion, the energy coalesced, and Malik Jatar could see his command spells, 3 of them, in the shape of a wrestling thorn. They engraved into his hands and started to burn. But they did not hurt him. Instead, a large, wide-grinned smile. He threw his hands to the ground. Creature, assassin, I give to you the forcement to come of this. I demand that you remain an assassin servant, and I alter you to be one stronger than the others. Take my familiar enhancement and be formed as the greatest assassin to ever live. This was familiar enhancement. It was the magic that could be sold like a drug. It could force the materialization of a familiar into a different form, fused on, let's say, a Symagus familiar. You could spike them and turn them into a rat or maybe a bat instead of their desired outcome. But on other hands, you could grant them more power for some time. This was an altercation. It was not a mage maintaining the familiar, not fully. While they did consume mana, it was the Grail. It was clear that Jatar was attempting to modify his servant to be an assassin, almost like he was convinced that that was what they were going to be. The familiar thought the same. As the light radiated, ripping the simple fence to pieces that was only safety for those not to fall to their death. Jatar simply stood still. Wind. Wind. With a crash, the wind coalesced into a new form. Black cloth. It radiated from around the being. The servant had been summoned successfully. Tall, and covered in nothing but black robes, cloths, tatters, mangled, deformed arms, and a mask, or perhaps a face, of bone. Its body slumped down to the circle before quickly pulling a rock. In an instant, the familiar was no more. The assassin servant. He was not familiar, at least to the mage watching. He didn't give any immediate signs of notability. But it was clear that he was a threat. The magus simply sighed before looking at one of his other familiars. There was an importance in the time of day of summoning. It was almost guaranteed that they would all be summoning today. That's what caught this mage's eye. Not one of his familiars remained. The small little scrying device, it kept record. Similar to a laptop. Its blue light streamed into the dark room. As he looked at the position of a different familiar. A different individual. Perhaps this one would give him more insight. And so the mage looked towards Lady Kakgrat. She was smart. She held herself well. But she was also nosy. Brilliant blonde hair was starting to turn a little white. She held her artifact. Something of some sort of religious symbology from a different place. Carefully wrapped in white parchment. Like it had been shipped over postal to her. Kakrat. She was said to be the best when it came to magical theory. Someone unrivalable. But no one had ever figured out what her magic was. She intended to keep it that way. She was already aware of the familiar. At a certain degree, any esteemed mage would be able to. But even still, she made lesser the attempt to dissuade it from following. Her summoning location would be quick and quaint. Hopefully, it would yield more information. Information that the watching Magus could use. Kakgrat, casting a spell of her own. Even if just simply a summoning. Now that would be a priceless piece of recording. While the caster's familiars were weak, the device that linked them all together had powerful recording and the storing of information abilities. Kakgrat moved, her hair tied into a bun, her visage elegant, as the familiar started to wane behind. The location, yes, of course. It was a park. Park on the north side of the city. Oddly enough, for the amount of time they've been here, this park never drew their attention. But after she had entered it, it suddenly sparked to life almost. The familiar watched from a distance. There was no way she was going to summon her servant while the familiar was watching. Activate invisibility scroll. Activate non-detection scroll. The familiar simply ceased to vanish at that point and moved closer. Anyone who attempted to discern would simply be alerted to the response of nothing. Well, if they looked into it even further, they would notice that receiving any input at all meant they had found something. But in the caster's experience, no one tended to look at the obvious. Seems I've lost it that familiar for now. Seems I had lost it. Perfect server grammar. Within a quick pulse, Kakgrat activated a magical item. Detection of sorts. And it seemed that in all of her unbound wisdom, she had overlooked the most obvious. She had prepared a magic circle the night before, placed underneath a large amount of dust and a tarp. This park was known for squatters, those simply who had nowhere else to go sitting on the land. And while her elementary to middle school teacher apparel would make her seem not as a squatter, it also meant no one watched. In her hand, she held the pommel of a symbol. Fan, I hope you know what you're doing. She placed her reliquary in the center of the circle, as the edges of it sparked to life. But she would not utilize her own magic even now. Pulling out a small container unit, a intercepted binding. She would not bind the server to herself, instead, through a magical item.
That is so incredibly juicy. Oh my goodness. Oh.
We can use this.
Wow. How crazy. A magical item? It's like that's something that you can almost like steal for yourself.
It's almost like it's a liability. But why would she not want to make the bind through herself, is the question. It almost
There's
seems like
no
she's
way
going
she
out of
even
her
has
way.
magic is my like there's no way, right?
She's like, this is far going out of your way to accomplish this. Like,
That is legit. Either you have the same hang up of you're never going to use your magic and you're just going to use other things' value, or you're literally you do not have any magics.
top of Mage Society is garbage.
I think she is a Nyaron situation where she just doesn't have any magic.
She's really good, and all the studies say so.
Wow, she really passes with flying colors. Wow, she doesn't even need to use her own magic. That's how good she is. No, she's so good that she doesn't have magic and she made it this far. That's probably her darkest, deepest secret. That, or every time she uses her magic, her arm gets blown off because she's a sigil lich or something.
Yeah, that's probably it. The item itself connected, and as the summoning circle started to render into place, she looked relieved. It was unfortunate, but she did have command spells, or at least the aptitude to have them. But after seeing them properly form on the item, she couldn't help but giggle a little, something uncharacteristically against her nature.
I love her. She's so cute, but she freaking gave me a bad review on my book, so I hate her.
With a quick spark, the holy symbol is destroyed, consumed by the magic circle. Something that she's completely taken awe by. Quickly moving, she ruffles through her bags, pulling out a small vial of black powder. All right, here it goes, Fan. Here it goes. I demand of you, O summoned servant. I demand of you of greater strength in magic. I want for your capacity to be independent. I command on you an independent action. Summon forth as a berserker and rend our enemies. Claim the Grail for ourselves. Tossing the vial of black powder, it immediately erupts, almost as if literal black powder, into a ball of purple flame. The vial itself shattering in all directions, as the circle itself starts to render its inert nature. With a flash of light, and then an enveloping darkness. A woman starts to take shape, forming from energy around her. White woven cloth. Her feet, no, her visage tall. Her hair at first looked white, but that revealed to be even more cloth. And symbols of divinity laid across her very form. As her hands started to materialize, they instinctively grabbed forth, reaching nothing. As her feet dug deep into the ground. This would be the berserker. A nun-like servant. It had to be. With a blast of white light from her back, two brilliant feathery wings. No, they were more like trails of energy. As she touched the ground. Berserker. No, my child. I am the caster class servant. I don't have a name, so don't worry. But I've heard your plea. I have heard your desire and your wish. There is false prophets and false gods who land within your world. Let us together dethrone them all and send their unworthy souls into the grind to fuel our true master. Even in this future, I see greatness, dear child, as the magus before her eyes start to tear. The caster servant places her hands generously to wipe those tears away. We shall save them all from themselves. Right, we will. We have been wronged for so many years. Not even the apocalypse can ever outshine our will. There's someone here. We'll have more time to talk, my dear. My child. We'll have much to accomplish together. Moving into spirit form, radiant energies singe the ground, tearing the summoning circle apart. As Lady Fan wipes her eyes. Another one. Another one we don't know. The magus simply watches as the screen flickers.
Do you think this is monastery?
Gods, I hope not. Gods, I hope not.
Cause that's the only thing I can think of if this isn't like an Azori or a Tally.
No, the aesthetics chalk out the it fits. And they were the ones who got smacked down by Apocalypse Simulator when it hit first ground zero.
Ah, goddamn.
Which means
I'm
their
sure Zappy
ideology
asked me I made
survived.
your token so ugly.
Hello there, I'm Kermit the Voldemort.
Assassin class here. I am here to
Yep.
be assassin.
You
Is she the lady who powered killed your
God,
Sanzu
she
first
is, isn't
generation?
she?
I
There's
mean, to
no
be
way in
fair,
hell
she'd
she
go
isn't.
down in history as that bitch. She wouldn't be remembered. She'd just be some sort of bitch.
But that also means that if she is that chick, then she has power to kill.
Yeah, and I don't like that. Noble phantasm, power word kill. Wait, that's just what?
Death.
It's not a death laser or anything like that. It's just power word kill. Yep.
That seems weirdly anticlimactic. But yeah, everyone else around here has like a max of maybe 50 hit points. So I mean, Mhm. We're not actually going to Lawrence yet. Next.
Oh, goddamn. I'm sorry. Okay. Who's
It's
next?
fine. It's fine. I don't choose these things. We're going over as the Magus flips to his next recording. He makes a quick sketch. One of the servant he had seen. The next one he wanted to look at. That would be Garexian. Garexian Hylan. Mr. Hylan had attacked his sister not too long ago. He was sure that Garexian would be up to something quickly. But it was him. He was the biggest potential threat at the moment. If someone knew what they were doing, Garexian was the man. History would show that he fueled his power on emotion. He was a man of instinct and spirit, impulsiveness, disorderly, extremely clever. Doing research showed that Gyrexian, he had gotten in more fights than was known. He picked fights with anyone for even crossing him for a slight moment. He was also aware of their servant, the ruler class, who most likely took up root under the alter ego slot. This Grail war, it at least followed certain rules. And the major one was there was always going to be 8 servants summoned. A saber, an archer, a lancer, a rider, a caster, an assassin, a berserker, and an alter ego, which could take the form of any of the other servants. It was the hope that through this he would be able to identify who the alter ego was. If there was anyone willing to at least even fit the title of alter ego, Erexian would be the first man to see. However, watching him, he didn't move quickly. Simply sitting at a small cafe in the middle of downtown, he was comfortably placed in a small armchair, drinking some sort of chai tea. There was no way he was going to summon a servant while calm like this. Drink, woman! I require a refill.
I already dislike him even further.
He didn't require a refill. His drink still had many cup left to it. I don't know what that means. He started to look annoyed, though. With an instant, that annoying just look on his face turned to spitting rage. As the young, probably undergraduate, placed another drink on his table. With one fist, he smashed into it, breaking the table in a hole, causing the lady to jump back. It didn't look like his attention was on her. It looked like he was angry at the temple. A little temple that was placed on his table, just as a cute little cafe trick. It was made of little wooden blocks. For some reason, that aggravated him. Hmm. Thank you for your service. Throwing 10 gold on the ground, an amount that would easily pay the woman's salary, at least for the year. He stood up and walked out. What was grabbing her? A secondary worker from the side simply tried to bring her back into the realm of reality. It's okay. It's okay. Breathe. Why don't you go to the back? I'll clean this up. Take a 10-minute break. Undoubtedly, the money that was meant for her and to repair the table would be taken by her coworker and simply pocketed. The Magus would stick around and perhaps form some sort of karmic justice. His goal was now to follow Gorexian. He could choose to summon his servant at any moment, speeding up the image quality, fast forwarding. He would choose a very weird spot, not on a ley line or anywhere close to anywhere of magical importance. He wouldn't draw a circle. He would simply reach in and pull out a small lizard's tooth. It looked to be something perhaps given to a young kid. Something of not much value. This damn war. I spent all my time looking for some sort of focus. If only the lesser Grail would have been enough. This war. He needed something. Little mage. You can be of use to me. With a whip of light, the crow grappled and pulled to the ground.
No.
All right, I got an idea now. Pulling a jar from a near trash can, the crow is crushed inside, still breathing, as a lid is put on. The sound of the recording muffled. Stabbing a tooth in through the lid. The familiar's still alive, barely. It wasn't meant to kill, just to very much discomfort. It was already stuffed. It already had multiple broken bones. The fact that he was able to keep it alive simply because he wanted to was warped in its own way. Throwing a bunch of garbage around the alley. This noble man, with his chiseled chin and long blonde hair, created a magic circle of garbage. And his focus would be a simple familiar that he found. However, at that point, the familiar was unsummoned. There was nothing really to learn from that. Rexian, he would be a problem much like Gideon was. And it suddenly made sense to why the two may have been working together. Their chaotic personalities. Their complete disregard for authority, or any sort of real figure. The innate bipolarism that Grexian had to an extreme. And with his magic tied to that, he was a potential bomb at any moment. Nowhere closer. But at least we know he has a servant summoned. Whoever they are, they can't leave that long. Any information was good information. And the information gained on Fan, that was already something to work off of. Grexian, there was no guarantee what he would do with his servant. Perhaps you would have to encounter the lead strategist about this one. Lawrence Footman, he should be an easier target. He was a traditional mage, with his emotions spent primarily on magic studies. He wore a fake smile. He had 2 kids. One of them was important. And his magic was value. Much like their general's quirkiness, in which allowed him to get value. Footman specialized his entire magecraft to that. He could use the value of an object to cast spells, meaning he hardly ever had to use his actual mana that vested in his body. Practically limitless mana, as long as he had items. And boy, did he have items. Reliquaries from the past, he collected them. Paintings. He went so far as to buy out collections for things like marbles and cards. Warehouses, heavily guarded. If there was anyone who could pull a curveball, it was Lawrence. But it was suspected that he was going to be using a cup held by a king. Worst case scenario, Lawrence would summon the hero king Khaldun. And then they would either have their work cut out for them, or they'd simply win. This was his most recent purchase. Normally, Lawrence would wait until a sizable price would be made on an item, but this was an item he bought rather quickly. There's no way they were going to intercept this one. But he stuck to that once it got there. No familiar could enter his house. It simply had to watch. But his study had windows. Probably because he saw himself as a sort of natural phenomenon, like the sun or the clouds. Lawrence, he spent a lot of his time looking at his own reflection in the window, making small adjustments to his hair, his eyebrows. He wore a little bit of makeup just to give his face a less elderly appearance, although he was probably only in his 40s. Lawrence, he was also a very careful individual. Mages tended to be, and all great mages, like these ones. You don't simply become something like them without sacrifice. For Lawrence, a traditional mage to reach this far, it was assumed that he transformed his own body into something of great value. No real evidence followed that up. Yeah, besides that, the amount of value he wore when it came to jewelry such as rings or watches or necklaces or even a gold cap on his teeth, they held much more. If he knew the servant, he'd be able to see them. This was probably a better place. He may not hear their conversation, but at least picking up on a word or two. He was proficient in lip reading to a certain degree. It would take a long time for Footman to summon his servant. The recording was mostly sped up, as he juggled between a cup, a sword, and some other small little knick-knack items. Knickknacks being important age-old artifacts and which should probably be located in museums, instead of private collections. Before again settling on the cup, He was convinced that this cup was going to be something great. But he did have his doubts. With a little bit of work, probably a chant or two, and another look at his own reflection, Lawrence would summon his servant. It was miraculous in how the summoning ritual, it barely seemed to cause any sort of sign the farther you got away from it. What looks like a ball of light erupting in the moment, something that could be seen from space, well, from less than 500 feet away, it was just a simple glint. This would be recorded for later note. The servant was unfortunately another one that this Magus did not know. But his clothing gave off a very familiar and very close reminder. Dressed in clothes that could only be described as a tactician's garb. Long flowing robes, a fancy hat, tied hair. It was a middle-aged gentleman. He had a very pointed chin mustache and very wrapped frontal hair. He was definitely some sort of royalty. Perhaps Yazoo knew more about him. What was actually striking, though, is just as it looked like they were going their separate ways, the Magus, his eyes drifted back. And Lawrence Footman broke the contract with his servant. Stabbing into his command spells, he revoked them altogether, leaving his servant in awe. Lawrence seemed fixated on his hand, rubbing over it almost as if it was like it was damaged or something. It looked like Lawrence cut contact with his servant because he didn't want the command spells to sully his body. Servant was a gasp. He seemed to try and speak back, and the two were yelling. They didn't get along.
How do we kidnap this servant? It's too late, he's already dead, I know.
Lawrence, grabbing on to one of his items, takes a point-blank shot at his own servant. As the two break into a brawl. His servant is weaker than he is. The servant is completely overwhelmed and using a quick jump into a painting and disappears from the scene. Lawrence, moving over to a mirror in the room, almost forgetting as if his servant had ever even existed, continued to examine his hand. The vanity was too sad. Speeding up, this familiar would eventually be shot down by an unknown Magus on its way home. Hmm. He would have to sketch this servant as well. But not only that, after he was done, that might be a good addition to their team. The more firepower they had in this war, the better.
Wait, he died or he got sniped by some unknown servant or person?
The bird did.
Oh, the bird did. Okay, okay.
The bird was like, fam, retreat out, get a little bit of distance, and then it got sniped by someone.
Okay, okay.
We don't even know what servant that is.
But they can enter paintings.
That's gotta be discernible. That's gotta be discernible. I think we can figure that one out. Because, like, there's no way in hell that's gotta be hella notable. Unless we don't know who they are. For which we should know who they are. At least we should know who they are, I should phrase.
I am so glad we're getting just like the rundown of all of our opponents. This feels great. This feels like we can manipulate them and win.
Normally we feel like the manipulated ones.
Oh, it's so good to be the bad guy.
You know,
Oh,
I agree. If you can solve every problem with just like there's no moral quandary. We're just spying on people. It's not that bad. They
also, I want to specify crazy religious angel. Uh, wherever the fucked up baby assassin that is, a garbage can, and himself, a mirror.
these are the top mages of all of society.
Those are the top. Those are the top mages can summon.
Oh my word. I was thinking these people were going to be a lot more competent, but we have a literal man child. We have someone who's obsessed with their own appearance. We have a crazy cult zealot. And I mean, we have a prince from a foreign country who's actually the only one who fits the bill at the moment.
Yeah. The prince was actually like super cool, super amazing. Like, look at me, I'm like freaking the coolest.
Grexian kicked over a bunch of garbage cans and stuffed a crow into a jam jar. Top mages, everybody. He also traumatized like a young college student.
Poor young college student didn't even get their fucking 10 gold. What sort of shitty, like, coworker that was? I feel bad for that girl.
We've all been there. We've all had an angry customer flip out at us, but usually most of the time they don't just leave and then give us the equivalent of $1,000.
Yeah, but she didn't even fucking get it because her coworker stole it.
Is that the dumb conversion right here? I think so. Yeah, I think that's the dumb conversion right here.
Alrighty, so oh, who's next? I guess, unless we take an intermission. I don't know. Oh. It's only been an
No,
hour and 20 minutes. It feels so much longer.
it really does.
Especially just because, oh golly, oh.
It's just info gathering. That's all that's happening here. We're just
It's
gathering info.
it's info gathering. It's a fun part. It's an episode 0 for a reason. Oh, I found out the April Fool's prank. You wanna know what the April Fool's prank is?
The fact that this entire episode is just going to be me narrating off of a script.
We're not playing a game. We're just listening to a story. Oh yeah, we're playing this new game.
Oh gods. I didn't
We
even
fooled
know it was April
ourselves.
Fool's. I didn't
We
even
April
realize it was.
fooled ourselves.
We did. I didn't even realize it was April Fool's until you said so earlier.
Yeah, I know. Oh. We. Oh, I love that. Oh.
Can someone summon someone we know?
Can we? Yeah, can we have somebody that's like relevant? Well, we do know Zabayashi.
Okay, can we summon more people? Can we summon someone that, like, our characters know?
To be fair, it's probably the garbage can.
We probably know the garbage can. Is it just Manju? We got another Manju.
Probably another Manju. It sounds like Manju, but this Manju is a weak version of Manju.
So it's
This no. You wanna know who this Manju is?
hmm.
It's Avenger Manju.
Uh,
Not Berserker Manju, just Avenger Manju, who's just pretty much just Manju.
He's an angry Manju.
Is Riskier Dreed next?
Yeah, we're going to that guy next.
You don't force it.
No, we're
keep doing
going
what
to
you
that
used
guy.
to.
We're going to that one next.
Cool.
These are just the ones that I feel like the most worried about. This is the lady who played Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and
You wanna know the plot point?
yep.
I think Catgrat is either an isekai or the child of an isekai. And I think she didn't pick up any magic because it was blasphemous. She played a Honra, but even more intense, because like Honra was like, no, I'm not gonna worship the gods, I'm not gonna read the scriptures, I'm gonna try and do the other thing, I'm gonna try and magecraft. I think she was like, no, that's sacrilege, and never did that.
How she gets so far? Just magic items, trying?
By learning all the stuff in magic items, yeah. She was a zealot. Of course she gets far. Have you seen Kato Mukune? It's all about faith. Like, she pretty much probably was like, I'm gonna do this because I believe in my gods and I'm gonna prove that they're still relevant. Did this on her own accord, refused to, like, have magic circuits, probably didn't even have them in the first place. And realized that this was probably the best way to get, like, resurrect gods and stuff. And I think she's pretty much a parallel to us, but with, season, like, the very first Fair
monastery.
Bros, monastery.
You're supposed to be dead.
I know, and, like, I don't want the monastery to be resurfacing. They sucked.
Yeah.
But if it is monastery, Didi will recognize it.
Yes. That is true.
We are just getting... this is the incomplete story. Okay. Let's continue on so we can figure out if any one of our past people know them.
Exactly. Then we just have to steal their magic or their magic focuses and figure out who they are, anyways. Reaching the limit. Or no, it wasn't a limit. It was just a simple transmission error. This familiar was being blocked or countered to some degree. It was out in the water, long ways, as this one took on the form of a gull. Riskier Dreed. A large man. Small beard, but still enough to be called a beard. Thicker demeanor. Great smile on his face, and a vessel that could only be out of some sort of fantasy. A ship of both barnacle, wood, metal. If you looked at him on a foggy night, you would say he looked like a ghost, Captain. But he and his men smiled, gathering around merrily. Oi, lads! We're getting close to the submarine point. Draw the anchors and get ready to lay them down to the barren deeps. Ha ha! Adventure awaits us, lads. Adventure! The crew would call in unison. He smiled. His
This man has
clothing.
become single-handedly our greatest threat until he sacrifices all of his people.
Yes. He has friends. The very waves seem to invigorate them. His clothing, drenched, but still not soaked. Somehow he looked fairly dry in comparison. He was driving a ship that had a wooden steering wheel. Most boats nowadays were entirely some sort of aluminum. Hear ye, friends of the sea. It is us, the people of the waves, who come back to the birthplace of humanity. We'll be together, and I think this is the greatest place we can go to summon a servant. The Grail will be as good as ours. Captain, I think we're here. Aye, I can feel it in my very blood. He places his arms out to the side in front of him, looks to the sky. Drop the anchors! Oh, yes, this is what I wanted. Captain. Yes, private. It was an honor. Aye. If we summon a great beastie, it will have been a great honor, Private. But we will summon a servant beyond all others. We want an incarnation of the waves. It's simply what we have to do. Yes.
Calling it now, he is not sacrificing his crew. His crew is sacrificing his crew. Which is even more terrifying.
Yeah, that's kind of terrifying.
But at the same time, we may be friends? No, we don't see enough.
Yeah, we don't see enough. We need to become a pirate. Man the decks. Away anchor. He smiled. It was a kind smile. It was a strong smile. It was a smile dripped in blood. And somehow, even if it wasn't directly seen, it could be felt. Just watching it sent shivers down one's spine. The waves themselves ripped and teared as he channeled his great magics. Come one, come ye, child of the sea. Come to bring us to a favor and fortune. Ye are our watch, and ye are our victory. The command spells rippled across his body. I be rescued, Reed. And I seek to find the divinity that hides in the waves. O waves of now, bless the spirit of all. Together, we shall be victorious. As his men walked to the side of the ship, each one of them clanks on a wrought iron ball to their legs. Aye, aye, Captain! My men! Yell louder to the very heavens, the skies who denied us our birth. Aye, aye, Captain! As the first few plunged downwards, Riskar smiles wider. Take these souls and bring them to the power of a grand servant. Bring them to the power vested in me. There's a moment of silence as the waves around him ripple in a light rocking motion. Kiku can feel them die. He doesn't see them die, but it makes him sick. It was like this familiar could feel them die. This was what death at sea felt like. A bright light from the depths illuminated. As Riskard simply looked forward, smiling. within a quickened motion even faster than light, emerging from the very depths. A huge form, probably around 6'8", lunges up like a dolphin, landing on the ship. Stark, woolen, long white hair. Large, deep blue eyes. And armor that could only be described as black rock. It seems to have markings of some sort of perhaps octopus or squid-like design to them. A couple of carefully illustrated eyes on the shoulders. Hey, you're my master, right? Face is memorable. This was Lady Onesil. This was something the caster knew. But she was different. As she brought a large smile to receive Dreed's. Hey, Lancer. I could have not hoped for a more suitable servant than you. Let's kill them all quickly. I like having fun with these kind of things. But playing with my food isn't suitable for the dinner table. Speaking of which. You! Mage! If I catch you spying on us ever again, servant or not, I'm coming for you. That familiar had retreated.
Its Kane is corrupted by old gods. The nightmare, no.
Evil old god nonsense.
Its Kane is corrupted by old
Evil.
god nonsense.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I hate old god. Go away, old god. You're dead. You shouldn't be here.
Just like Wayne, they're trying to dig their bloody claws into anything they can.
Nah, this is Rescuer's fault. Don't go to the depths of the ocean. The depths of the ocean is bad. Oh. They would have been happy sleeping at the bottom of the ocean, undisturbed. But no, Rescuer had to
Forever.
summon a servant there.
Forever. And then die there. I don't think he's going to sacrifice his crew. I think his crew's going to sacrifice his crew.
No, it's both. Somehow I'm less intimidated if, like, he's insane. Like, if he was, like, a friendship as power guy, then yeah, that would be pretty devastating. But this guy's just a crazy old god cultist.
We technically have two crazy old god cultists.
Stop with the crazy old god cultists! We know that's how you become a master and become, like, get past 10th, 5th level, but no!
Because Kakgaret, the monastery, pretty much worshipped one too. No, pretty much.
Ah,
No,
it's
they.
cleaning up the final messes.
All right, Kateri Giri. Are you telling me that you also have heard messages from beyond the stars? Are you
Ah,
also worshipping Cthulhu? Is that the punchline here?
it's probably worshiping. I don't want everyone to worship Cthulhu.
No, Cthulhu ain't that hot. I mean, let's be fair. Not like
Yeah.
attractive, just Cthulhu ain't necessarily the one you want everyone to worship. I'm being honest.
There's other like no, because in the past there's like stars and like no, they're normal. Like remember second generation with like Here Bros? Everyone worshipped the star. We were born from the stars. That
Right.
was no god.
Yeah, and our
Stars
siblings were
might be the
too.
only thing that's not related to eldritch horrors beyond imagine.
Ah, what am I
That
kidding?
garbage pile that summoned the trash can servant? Yeah, no, like that was normal. That was eldritch horror, I mean.
Everyone knows all mental illnesses are linked to old goths.
Oh no, you're right. Okay, what about the historian? Stubborn and hard to convince, loves the past and her magic is astrology, uses stars to amplify big spells, empowered by self. What about that one?
Surprisingly, she has the most normal summoning.
Yeah, because she's not an eldritch horror.
She finds a nice little place out on her balcony. She
Actually,
draws
on
a
her
nice
balcony?
little, finds a nice amount of chalk, draws a little circle, goes over, feeds some birds.
Was your bird one that was fed?
Very much so.
Aww. She is the loveliest person. Can they be ours? Oh, they're actually normal seeming.
None of these people are going to be normal.
I know.
From this point, the Magus is done. It's just information. He just needs to get the information. He's not there for all the pleasantries. Katiri Giri. Gilly. Giley. Someone in the comments tell me how to say that.
Kitty Gilly.
She was simply enjoying her very mid-range looking house at home. And that was perfectly fine for Giku. He would be watching all of these multiple more times. She was known for her ability to work with astrology magecraft. The stars themselves aligned for uh, planetary energy. Kiku did not know how it worked, only that it was powerful. Their kind had a long history with those looking to the stars for answers. So somehow, she felt like she was the most normal. But of course, even that would change.
God damn it.
At first, we figured her focus was going to be a large, spiky cup.
Oh
But almost,
no, it's not. I just drew it.
almost seemingly as if she changed her mind last minute, she readied a new artifact. It was quaint, tiny, cute even. It's a little token, an earring of sorts. Ah, yes. Yes, yes, yes. No, this won't do. Maybe I'll plant a flower in you. I don't want to summon mean old general of Hulmass. Besides, someone else will get him. She talked to the birds as if they could respond. Yes, my lady. The birds could respond.
What? They did?
Sometimes the hand of fate must be pushed. Brothers and I know this. You're right. There we go. A cup of the mad general. Now you'll be growing daisies. It's a good omen. We're in a cloud ring. Uh, it seems the divining rod says rain soon. Uh, Not rain, no. A coastal storm. I know. Why don't we go for an archer? I like archers. They tend to give a large amount of thought. That is an intelligent decision. You should go for an archer. Mm, But question is, which archer would this give me? Perhaps I could go for a late general? Perhaps I could go for something a little newer. Hold. The epoch of time in your hands, my lady. It is no consequence of which archer you summon. I'm sure that one will be best suited to you. That's very kind of you. These things, they require the will of the world. The world speaks, and the world tells us the time is soon. Move quickly, and you'll be able to summon an archer best befitting your efforts. You're right. She reaches down and pats the world. She seems to start coughing, hacking, as if something's stuck in her throat. Landing on the ground in front of her. It looks like a kidney. You've saved something for later. What an ingenious play. It was nothing. Don't worry about it. Now, a strong archer, capable of changing the world. Cutting the kidney up, it starts to bleed as she jams the small token inside it. There we go. This should be perfect. Place that in the center. And there. Now all we have to do is chant, and we'll be fine. Come on, everybody, and let's chant together. She looks forward. She starts cawing like a crow, almost identically. As the crows around start doing the same.
Oh god, your bird's gonna be found out. She didn't know you were fake.
What is this? Traitor! You know,
Imposter? What? I'm sorry. I need to be serious. Okay, sorry.
Among Us meme?
What is us amongst us? Oh man, if only you were inside the bird when this happened, you could have just played along.
Oh, we have a familiar here with us. I'm so glad you were able to join. Now, please. You're free to sing along if you wish. Enjoy the show. She reaches forward. Oh, Archer. Oh, Archer. Lend us your name. Someone who's capable of claiming us victory against all others. As the bird starts squawking, one of them side-eyeing the familiar. She reaches out and grabs her wading stick, jumping around the circle, making strange and elaborate noises. I summon you. Come now. Come now, my beautiful archer. A crack of lightning hits the ground, striking it in half, the very yard splitting in two. As shadows seep out of the underworld, forming into a vague-like shape, skeletal, grasping forward. Skin seems to mold over top of it. As finally it remains a pale blue beauty. An outfit, a dress, gothic in nature. Long streaming blonde hair, dyed white. And dead, soulless eyes. You've arrived, my archer. The eyes fixate on the magus before her. Together we shall be able to win. figure looks down at their own hands. And then looks back at the caster. Why have I been brought back just to suffer again? As the caster drops to the ground, the birds fly away. The familiar can't stay. It is compelled via fear to keep traveling as far as it can. By the time it reconvenes, the pale lady gone. And the corpse of a Kateri Giri sprawled across the ground, rapidly decaying into nothing. And that was all of them. With the exception of Baltimore. That was all of them. Makune was watching Baltimore, however. We had to trust that he would be well accounted for. It was unexpected. But now it was time to start deducing the identities. It was time to start getting a little bit of an idea of what we were really up against. This would all have to be compiled in the meeting.
Was that Eshen?
I think it was Ashen.
Yeah. Damn. Avatar of Death?
Shouldn't be an archer.
Don't think they summoned an archer.
Yeah, but they couldn't summon a lancer unless that was the alter ego.
Yeah. I mean, I got pictures of every single servant.
I need to see them. Come on, let's pop over there for a second.
It's on Roll20.
Yeah, I just haven't gone to see where they are on Roll20 because I've been having to
I
read
am
the
lining
thing.
them up right now.
All
Wait,
right,
no,
these
that's
are
a master. My bad.
I love his little mustache.
Which one's MIA or M?
MIA. Oh, that's adorable.
Alright, we got all of them.
So
Oh wait, that's only because wait, how's there only 6? Do we have that right? Where's the 7th? We never saw the 7th, but the 7th was trash can. Let's do something. Let's put them next. Let's play line the dots. Malk had that one. Oh right, Baltimore Brown. That's why.
yeah, and we don't get to see that one. So
And then Baltimore Brown. Yeah, but put a big question mark there.
6, 7, and we're 8. But if that's the alter ego, then we don't fill the alter ego slot, and there's another one. Because let's be honest, as we look,
We got
there's no
Caster.
way in hell this is Lancer, 100%.
I'm just gonna use. It's lamer, but I'm actually just using the thing.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, casters are crazy angel lady.
We got Lancer, and
Well, Lawrence probably summoned Ryder. I think that's bettable. We didn't get Azori. There's no Azori yet. She's essentially like, yeah, she's essentially death. She's essentially death in this case. If we were to compare it to something like, oh, that's kind of funny. Yeah, they can. Why is this microphone so much better than the one I normally use? Huh. Yes, but you can't hear me. Maybe. They could hear me for a bit, but then they couldn't hear me at all.
well, now they can hear me again. And now they are able to hear. And now they are able to hear. Say something? You again!
Maybe.
Oh, there we go. We're back.
Easy.
Things are fixed. Oh.
Yeah, she's essentially, she's, yeah, I mean, she can't, I guess she could count theoretically as some sort of rider if riders are normally rulers, because she became death.
I think it's a good possibility. Even though jumping through paintings is a pretty good sign. And the dude is once a cup by a ruler.
Hmm. I mean, they both could be riders, but then that leaves the Saber to either Baltimore or Grexian, because we're down a Saber.
Yeah, Saber and Archer. Which, actually, there is a way. What is the order of operations of summon? You have the timestamps, right? Of your except for Baltimore? We can actually math it out.
Figure out which one of them came first.
What is the order of operations? Who asked for what? And then when did they get it? So
With the
chronologically,
exception with the exception of Grexian and Baltimore and
no, Grexian, you have
yeah.
the timestamp.
Not when
You
he
have,
summoned the servant because the bird's or unsummoned. He could have just been like, I give up and summoned it later.
but assuming. Let's assume that
Because
he just went along with it anyways, and then we can look at it either way. Either way, what order did they do their rituals in?
technically first was Assassin, so that was Malik.
Cool.
Malik was the first one to do it. Riskier is the second one.
No contradictions. Good, good.
You had Lawrence as the third.
Lawrence, that's a bad one to be a third, but theoretically third, that it could be good. Okay, who's fourth?
Fourth is Fan.
Which one is Fan? Where's Fan? Oh, fourth.
Cat
What
Grip.
did Fan want to summon?
She was super hell bent of not summoning a caster. She wanted a Didn't
Did
she
she want
want
the
an
archer?
archer as well? Yeah, I think so.
So Lawrence has the archer. And that makes sense because Archer had the independence. His servant was able to run away.
The hell kind of archer did she get? Or he get? Who is this man?
Uh, was 5 Kitali Gili or Grexion?
5 is Key, 6 is Grexy.
So, 3 servants to be the Rider, the Saber, and the Berserker. Grixien, by personality, if we follow the original, Grixion's gonna get the Berserker.
And didn't Kitty Giddy mention something about Berserker already being summoned?
Did it, they?
They said something weird about the storm is coming. Then they also, when they were choosing away from summoning Berserker, they were like, we don't want a big old Berserker. We want to win.
Do you want backseat gaming, Snow? Is that what you're saying? I'm confused. Uh, wait, she said Berserker was already summoned?
So it was implied. I don't know if it was really she said it, but I took it as
So
that was an
Baltimore
implication.
would be the only one with Berserker then.
Yeah, unless I'm misinterpreting that.
I mean, we can rewatch the episode, or you could just look it up right now.
Yeah. Regardless, we don't know who Baltimore or Grixian has. And I think we can pretty well pin Berserker's not going to be Eshin.
Well, there's one reason she could be, and that's unfound theory and unable to withhold her. No, it could be Bashan. No, it can't be because she implied Berserk has already been summoned.
But that means Eshin's either a Saber or
Rider.
which rider makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Because Ashen did also have a considerable amount of summons and yada yada yada. No, she's Rider. Grexian probably has Berserker, and Balti probably has Saber, or vice versa.
I'm looking it up. Backseat gaming allowed. Allowed. There's a lot of allowed. I don't get. Yeah, I think it's Ryder. She has to be like, and like I assume we're gonna be able to piece together Ryder is Eshin because that was a part of our history as Wayne. Oh, no backseat gaming. Backsteed? Oh,
I'll confuse.
I'll be honest, I don't see it the way you see it. I only see no backseat gaming. I think that's only for you. The recommendation for like tags is just broken in general. Oh, golly. All right, so I think no, I feel confident with our like assuming the only thing that messes this theory up is if there's another if we do not count as the alter ego. If they're the eighth person and well ninth person in the war, then that screws us over.
Take a look at something. That article that I read, which was the summary of the proving grounds, the photo grounds, or whatever we want to call them. Um, Meteo was given a 3-star. Sorry. Saber 3, Archer 2, Lancer 2, Rider 3, Caster 3. Assassin was mislabeled. Berserker was 3. Kaylee was 3. I don't think we're the alter ego.
What makes you say that?
It's listed right in the bottom of the article. Ruler. 1-star.
What? There was a 1-star ruler?
I don't know how the hell I didn't catch that, but there's another one.
Cool. So oh. All right, so yeah, that's all out the window. I do think no, Lawrence has to have Archer. I think that sticks the same.
There's no way in hell that Zayab isn't assassin.
So the
No, I
question,
think assassin, caster, and lancer are correct. I think we can bank on those ones at the bare minimum.
yeah, those ones
So
are definitely
really,
confirmed. Lawrence should be the Archer. They say Berserker's already summoned, so there is another contestant within this war that we just do not know about.
yeah. I mean, they still don't. Most of those war doesn't even know we're involved. So
Honestly, piecing together that Lawrence is Archer is pretty good enough.
yeah, we're up with information here.
The only other thing I can think of is Baltimore slash Mystery Servant has a Berserker and alter ego because uh, an alter ego Archer was not able to be summoned. Twice in a row.
Well, the last alter ego was an assassin, so
Could you double check? Could you double check who had if Kitili Gili actually referred to it as a berserker already being summoned?
there was an implication around a berserker to be summoned.
As Homas dude, right? And that's
Yes.
to be
Technically,
summoned, right?
it was not implying that there is one currently. Is implying that whenever it comes, it's essentially it's going to be it's going to be Drew.
Meaning it Grexian could have Berserker then.
Yeah.
And he was pretty much last second. He pretty much stalled until the very last second because he wasn't sure if he was going to be doing it today.
So the one that
Right?
hates us the most as the servant that actually, you know, is going to give us the hardest time.
That makes sense. And also, he is against us. Like, that is kind of stretching it. But Berserker emotion, even just his personality, lines up.
There's one reason why
Kitty whole
Baltimore.
thing was death crows, familiar of crows. Familiar of crows are called a murder. This
Yeah.
was I should probably have had that disabled snow, but congratulations, you level up. I'll adjust it, but like we're not doing the level up right now. We're in the middle of something.
Oh God, that's a lot of points.
Oh yeah, people watch me surprisingly. We might do it on intermission. Is essentially the thing. I'll add it so we don't forget. You have 2 levels. You haven't done anything with your levels or your ability score improvements. Cool. Just making sure. No, I'm not gonna get distracted fully. Hi. Yeah, no, with that, because it is a logic puzzle.
It's a logic puzzle, but on top of this, we did have a theory that alter ego was always going to be given to the church. Wasn't an official rule, but
Oh, I like that. Why?
I just remembered it. That's why Makune got one.
Okay.
So this
Which,
actually still fits that theory,
which would leave Emiya Shiro with Baber.
which leaves Emiya Shiro with Baber. Who the hell's our Shiro this generation?
Golly.
The DM.
Hmm? Oh yeah, the artificial intelligence of the DM. I don't know how long you've been around, but if you heard, every single one of those people, we went to like a lore drop dumpling of like we just got so much just plot with them, and it was all DM.
I'm just reading a script at the moment.
We're trying to figure out things. Yeah. Uh, so things that we are like, it's gonna be coming down to Yazoo a lot, our tactician. because Yasu's smarter than both of us.
It's true.
But theoretically, there is a free servant up for grabs. No one will know about, and Lawrence, we need to kind of jump on that as soon as possible. We kind of have to look out for Caster currently in case Caster detects that or sees us snooping around. Assassin, same thing. That's going to be horrifying, especially if it's Zabayashi. We should be able to deduce the identity of Ryder, Zabayashi. We already know Canis from watching finally. And Caster, if we're lucky, we have to have Dee Dee's input to be like, oh yeah, there's some monastery scum.
Yeah, their main ability is power word kill.
Not much people have mustaches. Is it Seo?
No, Seo's blonde.
Damn.
When he was a kid, he had brown hair. I don't know who the hell that mustache man is. But I know why his master wanted to get rid of him so much. I mean, who the hell is he?
Ah, golly.
Yeah, we definitely. It's going to be a bit of a conveyment, and I say we hit Archer as fast as we can. We know that there's a servant without a master, and honestly, that's a servant that can join our team.
Yeah, we only have one servant. This is so much worse than the first time when we had like 4 or something.
Yeah, in the doopy test game that ended up trying to, you know, we essentially got scammed the entire time.
But now we be the scammers. We're gonna originate the world.
Meet public.
Alright, I should. Oh, golly, it's so.
Let's actually
Let's.
call this intermission for a hot moment because I need more water.
Yeah, let's do intermission. I'm not gonna write any of this down in my notes yet. I'm gonna get the server to tell me whether or not that's what they come to the conclusion of.
Yeah, and then I honestly say, if Yazoo says it's a good idea, we hit Archer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, could you imagine 2 servants at once? Except who's gonna hold them, and we don't have command spells for it. Dee Dee, never mind. I forgot.
We can make it work.
I forgot Dee
We
Dee might be
can.
broken.
We can make. We do have command spells actually.
We do? Oh, did
From
those ones from last game still count?
Maybe.
Huh.
I don't think they went away because they weren't
Cool.
used.
I like this entire time we have not looked at a single one of our characters.
No, don't worry about it. I kind of want you to keep the screen perpetually always down here and just drag people onto it.
There was a brief moment I dragged Kiku down there, but yeah.
Welcome to the 1800s. We have laptops and trains. Chip chip cheerio. Welcome to England.
Alrighty. See you in a bit. I'm gonna be RE myself.
Bye.
Alrighty, I have returned. Hello, hello. Oh, golly. I need to test something, and because there's nothing plot relevant, how about we listen to, Good or Evil, Miyashiro versus Kotomina Kirei OST, for no reason in particular. Feel that power. I'm seeing if this segment
Copyright
is
strikes.
No, yeah, that's legit. I don't want to play this on stream while Kate Mikune is doing something. So we're doing it now. Actually, I don't think it matters. We just full playthrough and then it's good. Don't worry about it. The music is gonna be incredibly loud, I realized.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fanfic Fate series, the video game. We have Broken Assassin Man, Crazy Priest.
Oh, wait a second! I just thought of something. Wouldn't Ryder be potentially assassin alter with how they backed?
Sorry, what?
I mean, I know that the altar servant is probably going to the church, but couldn't Ryder be the alter ego?
For Lancer?
No, for assassin. No, they have an aura of death.
It'd be weird, but it could be.
I like the Ryder theory more.
I do too, personally. Yeah. Yeah. Yahoo.
You're getting ready for pause Kate Mikune, Good versus Evil, Mishiro versus Kate Kurukate OST.
Yeah, we need to find our Shiro before we do that. Don't worry, we'll come to the
test to see if
we'll get copyrighted to oblivion.
I don't think Kotomina is going to be relevant today, so we don't have to really worry about it. So
yeah, don't worry. Kata Makune is a normal human being. Kokana Makune, sorry. We have Depressed Assassin. Psychopath Monk. I mean, Priest. Angry Storyteller.
I'm kind of sad that Katili Gili is gone because her magic was really just edgy and I loved it.
I am too. And it honestly kind of makes sense that she summoned probably the scariest servant out of the bunch.
You wanna know what's her? This world is destined to die.
Yeah, that's pretty damn accurate.
Summoning for the future is death.
Future is death. Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah, that's it.
Why was I brought back just to suffer more? That was disheartening. That was a disheartening line.
Yeah.
Let me drag
this
some
series
people
is
down.
for us because there's a lot of small things that no one's gonna understand.
Maybe. We can always explain them. It's fine.
Oh my goodness, are we actually gonna focus on like Honra and Yazu? Are our characters going to be relevant?
It was time. At least it was time that Honra had put aside. Within the last couple days, or at least maybe even today, the others should have summoned their servants. Kiku and Yazu would be probably already in the meeting room. Onra would have been as well if she wasn't surrounded in just different things that needed to be done. In truth, she was hitting a little bit of a writer's block. Something minute impossible for her. But she was also far too prideful to admit it. Having a meeting that would at least redirect her attention for a bit, maybe resetting her. As she opened up the stark wooden door to the study, Yazu and Kiku were already present, much as anticipated. Ah, Onra, welcome, Yazu, with a cheerful smile, and noted her presence.
I hope you weren't waiting that long.
Of course not. Since we're all here, let's have a seat.
I'm so glad I didn't delete this tea set.
It works so well. Yes. I've witnessed as many summonings as I could. We have an idea now of what we're facing. The mage from earlier, Kiku. It was nothing more, really, than an assassin with a fancy computer. Sat down and started to pull out papered drawings. Most of them are unidentifiable.
That's okay. I'll be sure to fill in the gaps, perhaps.
Bring Dee down here so they don't see the rest of the roster.
Yes.
Sakura? I mean, oh shit, we also have Sakura. Oh.
Our bootleg Sakura, who's definitely not just a BB clone. You'll have to get used to it.
You want to describe how they appear?
I'll run through well, actually, 3 of these pictures are just accurate, so never mind.
Yeah, no, wow, it's almost like you drew most of them, and then you didn't draw Dee Dee because she looks like Dee Dee.
It's almost like this person looks exactly like someone else.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
they're way more sociopathic than that other person. Totally different character.
Totally different.
Totally different.
And turning sideways into the scene reveals the ever so loving and attentive Miss Arnwell. A long, colorful temptress mixed with some sort of ringleader and perhaps a circus performer. Someone so unbelievably stylish that they couldn't help but be a part of some sort of drama production. This was the ruler class servant, a master of manipulation and forcing things into their own outlook. deep violet eyes, rippling purple hair, and an affinity for blue. Here, have a look. Kiku, taking the papers out and placing them for everyone to see. There's light descriptors and a rough sketch. It's a quick dossier of sorts. Just unlike a dossier. It's very small. Most of Kiku's dossiers are like mini books in their own right. This one is more like a pamphlet. But it gets the idea across. To Honrashi immediately recognizes Lady Onasil, Canis. She was a part of that event a long time ago. She looks a little different now. Not knowing if that's just a flavored outfit, but she seems to be dressed in a lot more blacks and squiggly like armor.
Is she
Could
corrupted?
just
Does she
be.
look corrupted?
It's a sketch.
Okay.
It's definitely Canis, though.
And yeah. The easiest one to identify is definitely Miss Onyase, Canis. A retainer during Satison's time for, I believe, Odysseus. Although the armor seems a bit more blackened than what it was. Kind of like seeing if there's a better explanation of like, was it like corrupted? Or was that just like style choice?
I can guarantee that that armor isn't normal. The engravings look like it's, well, she serves a new master now.
He gingerly points out.
For Lady Onasil, there's a certain pride to serving your master. There's only one master for you at a given time.
Oh,
She
right. I think Honor knows this, so stop me if she doesn't. Right. I believe there was alto versions of her where she served each royal of that lineage.
In the end, when the apocalypse came by, they merged together into one. But Real would only say that we could have any stage of that time. Either any point in their lives, really. A servant isn't always summoned at its most peak. Sometimes they can be a little infidel, and they might not have the memories they once did. Take, for example,
Didi points her wand onto the table, summoning 3 very similar versions of Canis, but all of their armor appears to be different. Still that white woolly hair.
and then a fourth one. It's likely that her new master has a thing for the sea.
He does. Riskir. He's known for water. Has a high connection to it.
Then it's likely that the armor choice is simply that of her master.
Very imposing armor, if I do say so. Riskir. Was he known to be a sort of authoritarian figure among mages? No. No, he wasn't. He's described as unnaturally cheery. It's likely he's a man possessed by some sort of faith or ambition, like the rest of them. I do think it would be in our best interest to avoid both Canis and riskier for the time being.
Owner seems to like know along of like she doesn't think we're gonna be able to convert Canis. She's loyal to like a master.
But if we're moving into recognizable faces, this servant summoned. You mentioned they were immediately broken pact with. I believe that's a very good asset to capitalize on. Not only that, with the way they dress, undoubtedly, it's someone from my homeland. I can't help you very much on those people. Your home was pretty inaccessible to me. Only glimmers.
Was there much people who had the fashion statement of what? Growing a mustache? Sorry, it's me laughing. Mustache growers.
You stylish people, you.
Fucking mustaches. Who grows a mustache?
Usually it was seen as a position of authority. Facial hair could be styled in any ways, but it wasn't likely to grow. Those with split lineages, perhaps to the north, they would have more facial hair. But from the looks of it, I would say this is natural. It's not crossbred. Usually, people from my province and the provinces surrounding could cope to just this amount. I believe there's a very good chance that he might be a general or a king who's taken position after me. And then if he knows of you, we might be able to win him over better.
Is there a chance that they're someone outside of your province's influence? Someone which may not wish to work with you?
Of course, it's definitely an option. But, given the circumstances, I believe a common ally is better than an unknown ally. Especially if one doesn't have any friends to rely on. It would be definitely worth looking into. And another servant under our quarter. Well, he may not be a proper servant, but we can definitely hook him up with some sort of mana reservoir. If, of course, he's willing to work with us. If not, we could easily set him loose on the other servants and their masters. It would be easier than us just killing him off if he had a fighting chance. I think that's the best option. Encounter him. He should be weakened. His master got in a quarrel. He's not a very strong servant at that. Ever more reason for him to want to join our side.
This Lawrence, he was a very prideful man, yes. If servants do share a certain quandary of their summoner, I suspect being spat on and kicked out would be a good motivational revenge. Very well. I'll see who's available and we can send them out.
I'm just
On
debating
the
if I know.
contrary, why don't I head out with Lady Honra?
I was just wondering if I should do so. I have no objections, and I think that would be a much welcomed break. Quote unquote break, but you know.
Keep your servant close. And don't spend too much time. What about the rest of them? Well,
I guess I should roll a history check, right? Yeah. I know Eshin is definitely. I know it's Eshin!
you know it's Eshin, but it's not really obvious to the rest of us.
I know. Did you say the thing of like, hey, by the way, death surrounds them?
It was a line about them bringing a future, and there's the symbology that lines up with death. But we have
And you know
no
the fact
idea
that she
what
died. Damn
Eshin
it!
looks like.
History of did I roll a history or did I roll a religion right now? I think I might have rolled. Am I proficient in history? Arcana, religion, history. Yeah, I am. Damn it! That 12 is horrible.
There's a chance that she might be a priestess, lost her way, or perhaps is a little bit zealous.
I'll let anyone else say anything if they're certain.
Well, this servant here, this is a member of the monastery.
Fuck! I knew
Radical
it! Oh, sorry.
and rather ridiculous group that was known to occupy a large portion of the world. They were in some parts responsible for the summoning of the original apocalypse. If I remember correctly, they managed to kill one of Lord Khaldoon's retainers. So they're capable of instant death magic.
And since they aren't recorded within well-known history, I take it that they were unliked by us, and they didn't like Wayne either.
They were despised, and vice versa. And then this would be Eshin after she became the Queen of Death.
Now that one I know, once she brings up, right?
Yeah, that's mortifying.
Just like something she's probably kicked the habit of adjusting her glasses by now because she doesn't need them anymore. So I imagine it's like just like adjust cup or sips from glass. I suppose that is another confirmation that this world is destined to fall into oblivion and be destroyed.
Fate seems to be throwing a lot of those little tidbits our way, doesn't it?
Destiny or not, we have a mission to accomplish. If we can re-originate it before it dies, then perhaps fate will be met, and our goals. As cruel as that could sound, it's very much true. Meeting a condition of destiny is said to be one of the greatest steps in order to rebuke it. And if that destiny is the world trying to tear itself asunder, well, we simply have to tear it apart and put it back together again.
We're the baddies. We're destroying the world to save it. Woo! Sorry.
Half the boat dies.
Being the ruler of death, I assume it is not well for one's psyche, and there is not much in the lines of negotiation. Obvious question towards Dee Dee.
Lady Ashen was ascended to the ruler of death, rather by force. So resentment is a part of the job description. There's not much that we're able to talk to her about. Rather just a simple force of nature that we have to overcome. She should be beatable as a servant. But back when she was in full power, there was very few who could actually stand against her.
She is legit the counter to caster. Instant death effect, I am death.
Mm-hmm.
Oh golly. Do we have the enough laydown for me to be like Ryder beats caster?
Oh, we know Ryder beats Caster. Like, it's just normal logic. That's how this game works.
But do I know that she might be Ryder? Do we discuss that part or no?
Whatever class it is, she can be anything.
Okay.
Realistically, she could also be Caster.
Yeah.
The only one that's pretty obvious is Canis' Lancer and
Assassin and caster said
the
caster.
the thing that looks like a literally walking corpse puppet is probably Assassin.
Oh, Yazu didn't nail it down as as frickin' Zapiashi, did he?
Nope. Which makes sense. Why would we know what he looks like? In that generation, the Zayab was still technically around, but he wasn't present. Trial by midnight had all but ended. There's not much reason for him to know who Zayab even was. So I'm not surprised by that. Which is funny, because he only dies the generation after that.
I understand that all assassins tend to look the same, but it is kind of irksome when you are the ones having to determine their identity.
The mark of a good assassin. At least for the time being. We can pin down that it's not Miles, Nameless, or Manirai. I don't think it's Hassan either.
I might as well roll a history check on that one. 9.
Who's
All
Hassan?
assassins look the same.
Hunter does not know who Hassan is. But definitely doesn't know who this is.
Do we have any other way of figuring out the other servants' identities of their classes?
Engaging in combat with them. I have a certain authority as a ruler, so if we engage with a servant of sorts, and I'm able to injure them, and then I'm able to figure out what class they are. Now, of course, I could also probably pry it from their psyche.
I'll have to keep an eye out on Grixian. And if we want to know more about Baltimore, that's going to require us getting into contact with Nkune. I think
Did
I'll
you
leave
mention
that.
that the other two tried to summon Archer?
It's in the dossier.
Should I take the lead? Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I can't figure it out. So Honra might have been able to figure it out, right? Yeah. It mentioned that both Kitigili and Kakrat both try to summon the Archer servant. And they were all powerful mages. So does that mean someone before them ended up summoning the Archer and made it so they were locked out of that option?
But that would also imply that the alter ego had been taken as well.
I assume she knows about this because you told me about it. And there was that theory that the alter ego would always go to the church. Not confirmed, but a theory.
I think it's a good theory. The alter ego. It also seems to have a draw to it. While not the weakest, the alter ego had some of the poorest abilities when it came to at least Kato Mukune's fighting. In comparison to all the other servants, there was a lacking. And what self-respecting mage would give a priest an easy time? I think there's more to it than that. If perhaps the alter ego always heads towards the priest, it could actually be indication of kinship. As strange as it may sound, while the mage and those who've put this together hate the priests involved, as the church is one of their number one enemies, they also have to abide by a certain degree of lineage to them. And they have to make their job a little worthwhile. In a fight of primarily mages, the alter ego could be more as a gift. But the priest is allowed to choose the class they wish to summon. They are outnumbered. I believe in this case, Kaito Mukune may have just had a trouble summoning a servant, due to all of his other features bundling around inside of him. The carrot.
So, chronologically, who was it that summoned their servants before Kagrat and Kitikili? Woo! Both their names are horrible! Can't wait for them to die! Oh wait, one's already dead.
From all we know, it was Malik, Lawrence, and Riskier. You're also going to be forgetting one. There's one that hasn't been involved at all. The ruler class counts as its own unique slot. So potentially 5 people. And that's before Kagrat.
Well, Reskard and Malik both have the Lancer and Assassin, which is pretty much confirmed. Which would leave Lawrence, the mysterious one, and the priest, who is an alter ego. Which would mean that Lawrence or this unknown master could have the archer. Assuming our logic is correct.
I'd keep a very, very fine point on that, though. I'd keep a very fine point on that, though.
As in, like, a hard potential?
Touch it slightly, but don't hold on too hard.
Since I
that
am
at
playing
least
the
gives us an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go. It was only that.
Hmm?
It was only that. You can go.
The force of, like, because she described, whatchamacallit as a force of nature, does that lines up with Berserker more, or Rider more, or neither?
Stereotype says Berserker, but it could be either or. Riders usually have mounts, either ships or vehicles or horses or pets.
Did Eshin have some sort of animal companion or a ship other than death itself?
She was able to summon spirits, and her hounds of death are notable for taking many lives. But I feel like it's a far stretch to call her a rider. She honestly fit the bill more for a lancer.
Did Case say she was a Lancer, or no? Or did we just assume?
What else could she be other than a berserker? Unfortunately, Canis is pretty much only known for, like, one thing.
Yeah.
We'll be able to build our portfolio with time. Let us head out as quickly as possible, though. For all we know, if it's an archer, then Lawrence's servant may be able to last quite a while. But any other servant has a mana draw. A mana draw that they won't be able to support themselves for that long. I agree. And it would be too much of a waste just to let them whittle into nothing.
Alrighty.
But it's very possible it's a trap. Very possible, yes. But on the contrary, if a trap is taken by a much smaller insect, then it's less likely to spring. Kiku does take a look towards Honra just as a note
careful.
if she's okay with this.
She's not
Kiku,
gonna say she's hit a roadblock with her book, but like, she's not gonna say it because she hasn't yet.
she hasn't said it, don't worry.
We'll make sure to be safe. Besides, an author is always looking for new inspirations while writing.
Perfect. Then let's get ready to go.
Yeah, they're always looking. Totally, totally. Hey, Honey, you should come over here. No, I'm writing my book.
I guess she just doesn't want to hang out with me. Okie dokie. And then I'll make sure to get a little bit of a head start. With a wave of her magic wand, she fades into civilian nature. Just seemingly the transparency on her very image just goes down to 0 before she disappears. I say, I really don't get along with that woman. As Yazoo leaves.
Oh, I was right. They don't get along. Aww, poor Yazoo. Poor baby Yazoo having to work with Dee.
Slams fist to the ground, but I don't trust any of them. You don't have to
it's
trust
frickin'
someone.
Yazoo. Oh.
He's back, guys.
Alright, so is this where we die?
This is where we die.
End
After
of
the ad break.
campaign! April Fools! We knew this was gonna. No, I don't know.
After the ad break, of course.
Oh, ad break. Oh man, why did we have to, like, get ads? Ugh.
Evil people, that's why. It had been a while since Honor had a night out on the town, even if it was midday. She was under very careful watch. She had a nice pair of walking shoes, A very nice handbag. A very nice escort. Yazoo Bizzlemouth was dressed fairly dapperly in a nice suit, a good tie, some proper shoes. He had a bowl cap of sorts on. Honor was dressed in whites and lights. Yazoo was dressed in blacks and darks. Just a little bit of color. It felt freeing in a way. They were looking for a very strange individual. Someone who was dressed and completely out of their time. No doubt, he'd probably be in an alleyway somewhere.
Should I roll or use a help action to investigate?
You can roll or use a help action.
I feel like helping action would be a lot better for Yazoo.
Oh no, he's not a servant anymore. He's just a regular dude.
Is he proficient in investigation?
Oh yeah, and he has like 4 skill bonuses, increasing his investigative abilities.
Help action!
You remember that character bonus, which is like you get a very vague thing that have increased skills to, like infiltration?
Let's go!
This is investigation.
Help action! Investigation, I'm proficient so I can actually help!
Or you could have had a perception up.
My perception is +0. Well, +0.
Right.
It's fine. Dee Dee's looking out for us.
Quite a nice day, isn't it? Feels like we haven't had a proper sunny day in a while. And we're still crawling through winter.
Are the summers nice here?
Nothing's nice here, really. There's nice days, but that's just really you just accepting that you're not going to get any nicer than this.
Back at home, was there like nice days there or no? Depending on where you go in the country, probably, aye.
Yeah, definitely.
Not my favorite weather to traverse, but at least there's a few nice days. It's pretty much dreary most time of the year around these parts. We're in England, man. Are you still there? Cricket. Cricket. Alright, if Justin can hear me, I can't hear him and his microphone isn't flashing. So I assume someone walked into his room, meaning we can talk about him behind his back. Ah, geez, that just 10 really, I really question which one of the 3 characters that he's playing, if he's playing any of them. Now thinking about Dee Dee, Kiku, and Yazoo were all his characters at some point, but they all could be on NPC mode. I have no clue, though. Oh, golly. The suspense is killing me. Which one is he playing? Is he playing any of them? Marco? 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 I'm scared. I'm alone. I don't know what's going on. Uh, well then. Also, I'm stuck in 1D. Somebody banished me to the Shadow Realm and made me one-dimensional. So heartbreaking. I was asked to stay longer at work. Hey, Fred, how's it going? Fred, Justin disappeared. Were you there for that? Do you know what's going on? Help. Help. I'm in my time of need. Stuck in a 1D form. I don't know, Justin's gone, but pretty much what's happening in D&D is, do you know what the Fate series is? Fate Grand Order, Fate Atarxia, Fate Zero, Fate Unlimited Blade Works. So, do you know what those series are? Yeah, we're doing that, but instead of like, characters from the anime, we're doing it as like characters from D&D games, and we're summoning heroes of the past, which happen to be our D&D characters. So for like these characters, this one is pretty much a Ashen, the Queen of Death, which was trapped by my character, Nima, the Goddess of Life. And pretty much was forced to be death, and she was summoned as a servant. This is Canis, which is just like Lancer Person, which was a character in a past game who was like impervious and pretty much iron skin based off of a person. Yeah. So it's a crossover event. Yeah. Nima, you know Nima. Nima showed up last time. Yeah, no, Nima. This is the person that Nima like forced to become a goddess of death. Yeah. Where she spawned into the world and just killed the person who summoned her because she just like I guess emanated an aura of death, and it's like, why must I be brought back to suffer? And then pretty much walked away. Yeah, it's that person. The caster over here is pretty much same generation as Nima, where she came from, so like, 2016 or something, where she pretty much used Power Word Kill on a level 5 servant, a level 5 retainer, and was like, ha ha ha, and then died. Yeah. Pretty much think crazy cultist, one true religion, corrupted by old gods. Definitely evil. This is a bad guy. This is bad guy. We are not bad guy. We are good guy. We are bad good guy, but we are good guy. Zabayashi. We're pretty sure this assassin's gonna be Zabayashi. You remember Zabayashi? They were in a okay, like a while back ago. They were summoned by that random person. Garbage can. We don't know what was summoned there. It's just trash. The dude used trash. And then we're hunting down whoever this servant is, because Lawrence Footman loves himself so much in the mirror. I drew him in the mirror, and he's like, yeah, I'm great. And pretty much banished his servant, because getting a servant means you get like a little command code on your hand. 30 more oh, are you about to level up? I feel bad, because earlier I was like, hey, Snow, you can't level up right now because I'm in the middle of something. But now it's intermission. I'd be like, hey, level up. How are you? Gosh darn, I have no way of like leveling up. Can I just make myself level 20 so I'm a threat? No, probably not. I need to make it like a system where you can expend things and like be able to like expend levels for like stats and stuff or something. Or like magical items. Expend all of your levels and become like prestige. VIP. Are VIPs a thing in Twitch? I'm pretty sure. I was incorporated last time when you tried to kill me. I mean, when we did the rematch. I was there one time. But yeah, now I don't know. It just went. We were about to find this nerd and convert him to our side. How are we supposed to convert him to our side if he doesn't show up? Look at his evil mustache. Clearly he's a good guy. We need him on our side. Very problematic. Everything's problematic nowadays. Doom, gloom. You know, the other day I joined someone doing like a quote-unquote podcast, and like they were talking about childhoods. Do you have a childhood? When does childhood end? Some people don't get childhood. That's pretty sad. Very much Kokoro go Dokoro Doko? No. Kokoro go Hazukashi is Kokoro Heart Go's embarrassment, but like that's not right. Kokoro Itai. Kokoro Itai! There we go, remember what pain was. I forgot the thread right there. I got distracted with remembering Japanese words. Why is your Kokoro in pain? Are you okay? Therapy. Everyone gotta do therapy. Maybe. Unless it doesn't do anything. I don't know yet. I can't weigh on the therapy topic. But I just know everyone in life always is like, hey, we gotta do therapy, and it's like, yeah, you should do therapy, and then they never do. And that seems to be a common trend. Yeah, oh my goodness, you notice that trend too? Are you one of them, or do you just hear people say, oh, I gotta go to therapy, and they never do? What the heck? Oh no, I just jumped. Hold on, don't worry, I got this. See, I got this. Oh, but now it's not like level there, and we gotta like, no, that's too far now. Nah, that's good enough. That's good. That's good. Ah, that's hopefully good. Yeah. Like, every single time I've had, like, a problem where I've been like, I should go to therapy. Yeah, oh my gosh, $200 is just insane. There's, like, resources where you can do it for free or, like, something. But, like, no, it's insane. And, like, honestly, I don't know if I'm going to keep it up. I went to a therapist once. Word vomited all my problems at them. And then got, like, one line from them that was, like, felt kind of useful. But it was like, okay, yeah, no, I can't just, like, knock it, like, say, nah, you suck yet, because, like, I have understanding. Pay $200. No, $200 per session. $200 per session. The first one didn't work. And like, ooh, and I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna be open. $200 is nothing when it comes to mental health. Money is a construct made by society, and if people need that as a motivation, then whatever. I don't care. In the end, technically, if you want to look at things at a negative view, I am manipulating the system of greed and intoxication of material goods in order to make myself feel better via other people's slave labor that is being paid for by a pretend currency made by some rich slave owners. And like, Justin just left. I think I scared Justin away. That ain't cool, but it's a thing. So, like, you can, there's always multiple ways to look at it. Yeah, but, like, it sucks. It's worst. I'm just gonna call Justin, so if you hear Justin on the speakerphone, that's gonna be a thing. Do you hear it ring? I assume you hear it very silently. Oh my gosh, yeah. Just gonna be ringing. Wow, all of my records. I can't even talk about Justin behind his back right now because, like, you know, he can watch this back and see me talking about him behind his back. Oh my goodness, no.
You have reached.
Nope. I have reached no one. Good call. Glad I got that through. So what do you want to do in the meantime? I'm okay. I mean, like... Oh, my brain's starting to feel a bit tired. I want to recruit this jerk. Who are you, mustache man? Right. Oh my gosh. I've been, like, silently lurking. I haven't gotten to, like, look at Autumn stream, but, like, I opened up Autumn stream because I was like, oh, I want to look at Autumn stream. Holy, they're a cat now? Oh my goodness, that is, oh my goodness, they embraced their fur, It's not autumn? What are you talking about? Oh, it's winter. Oh. Oh man, I'm so jelly. Okay, so like... Oh, it's her debut stream. Oh, I can't believe I'm missing Winter's debut stream. I'll catch the VOD, I tell myself. It's Sunday? No wonder I'm playing Nononoke right now. Honestly, I kind of started streaming without realizing it's, because, like, the first... I'd say 3 hours? We've done 3 hours of playing D&D, quote-unquote. No, everything boomed! I don't know what that means, but, like, it could have been, like, everything as in everything, or everything as in just the server. Oh, man. But yeah, the D&D, the April Fool's joke I had on myself was we were gonna play D&D. Listen to Justin talk for 3 hours. Honestly, that is the best April Fool's on yourself. Oh, it's a Bueka. The Bueka popped. Ah! Hi, Master of Laughs. How's it going?
Okay, I might need a different outlet.
Hello, welcome back. Sorry, what was that?
I might need a different outlet.
Something about outlet?
Yeah, I might need a different outlet.
Oh, because yeah, it's happened more than once, hasn't it?
Yeah, this time it melted the case.
Of what? What about the server or like?
No, the outlet.
Okay, yeah, I think you need a different outlet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
About was that like the server drawing that power or like?
mm-hmm,
Oh yeah, no, the server's drawing a lot of power, ain't it?
mm-hmm,
Yeah, that's not good.
mm-hmm.
Sir, you gotta tell the server to stop being so greedy.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Hmm?
Essentially, the intermediate power supply decided that it was not charged because I am intelligent and turned it off for when I moved my computer. So it was like, okay, we're gonna draw straight from the wall this entire time. Hey.
Oh.
Needless to say, it's essentially like I have a giant battery in between the server and the wall. And the battery just fills up, and the battery has like a draw rate of like 6 bajillion amps, so it doesn't matter. But the wall, I think, taps out at 1.5. No, it's a fancy wall. It's a fancy wall. Point is, have you ever blown up a toaster before?
No, but my cousin has. Or set it on fire. That's something different.
You know when like the wall just kind of has this giant like, this has like this plastic piece on the wall, and the plastic piece you plug all your stuff into, and it's just literally just a cover.
Yeah.
And then behind it, there's like this really weird metal thing that the actual plugs go into.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't support the server.
So the server is drawing too much power.
Yes. Who would have thought having to upgrade the actual computer would also make it so that it literally draws way too much fundamentally.
So like how to fit because it won't that still
No,
happen with
how to,
whatever outlet you plug it into?
oh yeah, that's what the intermediate power supply is for.
And then it just ignored that intermediate power supply?
No, I was an idiot and I forgot to turn it on.
No.
Because I had to move everything when I was cleaning, so I had to unplug it and let it discharge.
What you're saying is that I shouldn't clean my room ever again because that might happen to me.
No. I'm saying that if you have an intermediate power supply hooked up to a giant death machine, you should probably remember to turn it back on.
Okay.
You can't escape me this easily.
Oh golly.
Yeah.
So like did you catch on fire?
No, I'm not on fire currently.
Did your wall catch on fire?
No, I just played Melty Melt until the breaker decided to give up on life.
Okay.
So as much as I'm going to say I think that's where we end today.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be easy fix.
No, it's easy to just use a different outlet, but I mean, I want to let this thing fill up. And then we'll have to fix the outlet, but whatever. I want to let the actual intermediate power supply actually start working. So yeah, we're just going to call at the end.
Alright. Right at the cliffhanger. That's the April Fool's joke. We don't get
That's
play
the April Fool's
D&D. A
joke.
little bit of dialogue and that's it.
Yep, yep. Let's just roll with that. That sounds like the one.
Cool, I'll go Red the Lobster.
And we still have not contacted the other person who's needed to come to Red Lobster.
Oh gosh, you're right. Here, I'll do it now. Alright, actually, we should probably end.
Yeah, that's fine.
We are going to be. I want to write on them. I don't care if she's been streaming the exact same amount of me, and she's probably gonna like end stream soon. I'm rating her.
Wait, who are we rating? Autumn?
Autumn.
Okay.
I mean winter. Right. What is?
Isn't it
Okay.
spring though?
Hmm.
Isn't it spring though? I don't know how this works.
Nah, don't worry about it. It's April Fool's. We aren't going to be tricked by the April Fools. That's why we're going to call them Summer.
Oh, there we go.
That's why we're going to pop in and say, hello, Summer.
Do everyone do that? We'll pop in and we'll say, hello, summer. I believe in you.
It's not spring, it's not winter, it's not fall. It's summer.
I don't know how the... No, I do know how the raid works.
You do know how it works?
I do know how raiding works.
That's
Maybe.
good. You probably don't have my heart emote because I don't imagine you're like actually subscribed to me.
I don't log into my account.
You're right. Either way, that's
if
a
I
raid
am
message.
still subscribed, I'm not sure. I should be. I don't know why I
Are you
wouldn't
paying
be.
me money each week?
Okay, no, maybe not. I'm the other one.
Yeah, you're following me. You aren't subscribed.
Yeah, I'm a loser. I don't know how Twitch works. I lied.
Sorry, there's something really amusing about autumn with cat ears. I mean summer.
Summer.
Alrighty. Something. Thanks for stopping by. Something. My brain's just thinking about D&D. Not a cat. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we have None and Okay tomorrow. That happened.
Yeah, no.
Probably.
Okay, assuming we get the thing fixed.
Yeah, assuming I get the thing fixed. You know, it's easy.
Alright, I'm good as raid. And it is rated, and I'm actually gonna end stream and not leave it going for forever.